Good morning and happy spring. Tomorrow is the first day of spring, and shortly around the corner it's going to be Easter as well. So today I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about a new fragrance from Bath & Body Works that is inspired by Easter, and it's called Daffodil Daydreams. So my understanding with what happened on this fragrance is that they released it in travel size fine fragrance mist in most, if not all, stores as well as online, but then it was only select stores that had access to the full sizes of body cream, shower gel, and fine fragrance mist. So for some of us, it is a little bit more difficult to get our hands on those full sizes in all of the different forms. So what I thought I would talk about today, besides the fragrance itself, is what we can pair with it in terms of lotion and shower gel, so that way we can find a good way to integrate it into our body care routines and our fragrance rotations. If you're anything like me, you like to have a fragrance that is in shower gel, lotion, and spray that all kind of go together, so that way you smell very intentional and all of the notes are complementary to each other, if not exactly the same. So I'm someone who values this in fragrance. I like everything to be themed and organized, so when they do release a fragrance I really enjoy but don't have all of those body care forms, this is what I do. I start to think creatively. So besides that review, I'm also going to give you a couple of suggestions of what fragrances in the lotion and shower gel that I will be using with the Daffodil Daydreams body mist. So here is what the little travel size is looking like. 10 out of 10 for packaging for me. I especially love it when they include little woodland critters, and as you can see we've got our cute little bunny rabbit on the front, and I'm loving the fact that this is green. Usually daffodil fragrances, or daffodils in general, I think of yellow, but since Easter this year is in March, I think it's very fitting and appropriate that it is a green fragrance in the fragrance mist. Also, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you will know that I am not a huge floral wearer myself. I don't really smell good wearing florals and I don't enjoy them as much, although this is an exception, and that is because this is heavy on the gourmand side of floral. So the notes for Daffodil Daydreams are listed as whipped marshmallow, pastel clouds, and sweet daffodil, and it's described as being a sweet first sign of spring in full bloom. I just think that's perfect. Love the marketing concept and packaging. I do really get those marshmallow notes, as it is a marshmallow forward fragrance. Like I said, it's predominantly a gourmand and floral is more of an afterthought. I'm gonna spray it on my tester card now, but you'll have to let me know in the comments below, have you gotten a chance to smell this fragrance yet? And is your store one of the stores that had the full sizes in stock? Because mine didn't that I saw. Yeah, this is a really enjoyable fragrance. One of my favorites that they've released in a long time, actually. It's very unique, and I find that marshmallow scents often can be a little bit on the redundant side. As much as I love them, I feel like once you've smelled a marshmallow scent, you kind of get the idea of what they're going for. But it must be that daffodil. I feel like in real life, daffodils don't have too much of a heavy fragrance. They do have a little bit of a watery, crisp kind of scent, and I do get that sense. This is more of a fresh, fruity, crisp floral as opposed to one of those more powdery, musky florals such as Japanese cherry blossom or dream bright. The marshmallow note that I'm getting is almost a little bit on the almondy or shortbread side, but it isn't going down the route of like a pie crust graham cracker scent such as blueberry shortbread. Like that one, for instance, has almost a cinnamony graham cracker heavy note, but despite being a little bit on the sweet and toasty side, it still remains very fluffy and light. So when deciding what I'm going to pair with this fragrance in particular, I of course love to look at the note listing and see if I have any fragrances that share the same note. So the most obvious answer to me would be to find any of my marshmallow scents and pair that with it. Fireside Flurries or the Summer Marshmallow Beach Nights would be my first response as to what to obviously pair with this, just because those marshmallow notes are kind of the main feature in all of those fragrances. And while those would be excellent options, I feel like with this fragrance, at the time of year that I'm wearing it, I really am craving things that are more light and fluffy. Just like I said, that's how this is smelling. So I kind of want to keep it light without weighing it down too much. So you can really go two routes with this fragrance. You can either try and bring out the more fruity floral types of notes, the fresh cleanness of it, or you can go more on the sweet side from that marshmallow. So if I wanted to pull out those more fruity, fresh, crisp notes, I would pair something like a fruity floral with it. For example, I have been using a little bit of this Gingham Fresh travel size. Now, I don't have it in a moisturizer or a shower gel. I only have it in this travel travel size spray. So mixing the two together, when I tried it, it was really pleasant. And I think that's because this has like a nice floral crisp pear scent, which is really fresh and clean. So anything that has like a clean pear scent or a green apple scent would pair really well with it. So things like Beautiful Day, since it has daisies and the green apple in there, I think that would go really well with the Daffodil Daydream. Gingham Fresh is a good option. Also, if you have any of these older fragrances, the Perfect Peony, or dating back even further, I brought out this body butter that Jose had used up of the jasmine and green apple. This would smell so good with it. I haven't cleaned this out, so it still smells like the lotion. They smell really good together, and it kind of brings out more of like a fruity, crisp, spring-like scent of this. So the common connection with all of those fragrances is that they are fruity florals, with the fruit usually being a green apple or a pear. And because of that, it really helps bring out the springtime vibes of this fragrance. This isn't Bath & Body Works, but this is actually the lotion I've been using, both with Gingham Fresh body spray as well as the Daffodil Daydreams body spray. I got this little mini body lotion that is Raw Sugar Kids in a set, and this is avocado and green apple, again with the green apple, but also the avocado is just a very subtle creamy note. Without going too gourmand, it still gives it like a nice creamy vibe. So this has been going really well with the Daffodil Daydreams as well. And then my last recommendation, which is reaching a little bit further out of a comfort zone. This is a little bit different. I love this fragrance by itself. I wasn't really sure this would pair well with it, but when I tried it, I was pleasantly surprised. The one I've been also using with it is this Coconut Lime Breeze. This is still if you want to bring out more of those floral fruity notes and bring it more of a sunshiny springtime vibe. So Coconut Lime Breeze has notes of exotic fruits, luscious citrus, zesty lime, jasmine petals, and island musk. So normally this is leaning a little bit more towards a summer vibe, but this one I find is similar to Coconut Lime Verbena. It's supposed to be a modernized version of that fragrance. It's a little bit different, but very similar. And I find that because of those more zesty citrus peel and almost like a herbaceous verbena kind of smell in it, that it pairs really well with the Daffodil Daydreams. And honestly, this one is a little bit stronger of a fragrance for what I normally would pair with it, because this does end up overpowering the Daffodil Daydreams, but they still work really nicely together if you want more of a green grassy scent. So I have 4 more fragrances as suggestions that you can pair with Daffodil Daydreams if you want to bring out more of those marshmallow, decadent, gourmand notes. So far, the one that I've been pairing with it probably the most is actually this iced lemon pound cake. I have full sizes in the lotion and the shower gel, so I have plenty to use with the travel size mist. And this one has notes of sugary glazed icing, pure lemon zest, and fluffy pound cake. I feel that the lemon pairs nicely with keeping it nice and bright, but because of the fluffy pound cake, it really helps bring out kind of that more cakey scent. When you pair these two together, it makes it really obviously gourmand, but still being perfect in theme for Easter. Now this fragrance is reaching a little bit further back into my collection, going back to the oldies a little bit. This is Black Chamomile, and it is a version of Sleep from the Aromatherapy collection. And I find that this fragrance is perfect for pairing with other things because it's not terribly descript on its own. I really enjoy the fragrance of chamomile, but it's just very calm and subtle, and it almost is like a bumped up version of unfragranced to me. Since I'm not normally a floral person, herbaceous is usually the closest that I get to enjoying floral fragrances, so things like lavender and chamomile really fall under that category. And this one actually has little hints of orange peel, which I think is really good to pair with the Daffodil Daydreams as well. They have had more recent versions of Black Chamomile than this packaging that I have here. This is actually just a really old body oil that I've been kind of working on using up every now and then, but they've had other different aromatherapy scents with chamomile in them. Also kind of older, we've got Wildberry Chamomile is another great one that would pair really well with it, but Lavender Vanilla I think also would pair pretty well with it, although I find that Lavender Vanilla is pretty descript on its own, so that one might be a little bit on the overpowering side instead of playing along with those notes of the Daffodil Daydreams, but they still probably would smell really good together. Here, going more on the playful side of gourmand, I've got Cotton Candy Clouds. This is my older version of it, but there are even more recent packagings from, I think it was last summer's semi-annual sale. This one has notes of spun sugar, pink berries, and whipped vanilla. So since the Daffodil Daydreams has the pastel clouds, I feel like that kind of is the common connection between these two. And not only Cotton Candy Clouds counts for this, but there's also pink berry clouds, Clouds, Among the Clouds, even Enchanted Candy Potion, or any of those kind of cotton candy, pink berry themed Bath & Body Works fragrances. They kind of went through a phase where they were a little bit on the reinventing the wheel side with this type of fragrance. So any of those, oh, Whipped Berry Meringue is another one. So any of those I feel would be the perfect pairing to go with the Daffodil Daydreams. And then I've saved the one that I think actually smells the most like it for last, and that is Brown Sugar and Fig. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is from Semi-Annual Sale 2022, so this one in particular is a newer version, but of course this is one of their very old 90s fragrances. And this one has notes of fresh fig, coconut milk, and caramelized brown sugar. Now this one I have a hard time knowing exactly what time of year to use this. I'm very seasonal when it comes to my fragrances, and I personally don't really like it when I'm wearing a fragrance that is supposed to be a Christmas fragrance and it's like summer, for instance. I just like to be very themed and intentional when it comes to the calendar and my fragrances. So for that reason, Brown Sugar and Fig sometimes falls through the cracks because it's a gourmand, but it doesn't really scream gourmand to me, if you know what I mean. It's not like sweet and decadent like a dessert. It's just kind of rich, but kind of herbaceous. I don't know, it's just one of those ones that I can't quite place my finger on. And it has coconut milk, so you think, okay, maybe it could be summer, but it just doesn't scream any specific season to me. So maybe what I'm gonna start doing is making Brown Sugar Fig my winter into spring fragrance and pair it along with this Easter Daffodil Daydreams. So I've just put some of the lotion of Brown Sugar Fig on my hand, and once again, it just is kind of one of those scents that I just don't know what I'm smelling when I smell it. I can't quite tell what's going on. It's an unusual fragrance to me, and it's funny because it's been around for so long. You'd think I'd had time to figure it out, but I just still haven't. But I do enjoy it. Like, it's warm without being heavy, and it's still fluffy and light, just like the Daffodil Daydreams. This one is a little more obvious what I'm smelling. Like, the marshmallow to me really does smell like marshmallow, and because of the daffodil, I do get those floral notes, while in the Brown Sugar Fig, floral isn't what I really would call it. Herbaceous, if anything, because of the fig. It almost has like a little grassy bite to it. Oh my goodness, but smelling them together, it smells so good. It almost has like a carrot cake, caramelized, sticky toffee kind of scent when you pair them together. It really helps bring out the brown sugar notes of the Brown Sugar Fig. Wow, that is surprisingly good. So I think that is my top pick, is to pair Daffodil Daydreams with the Brown Sugar and Fig. If you've got this in your collection, you should really give it a try. Okay, let me know down in the comments below, what fragrances do you plan on pairing with the Daffodil Daydreams? Or were you one of the lucky ones and you were able to grab full sizes of the lotion or shower gel? Let me know down below, and I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye.